Yes, we are back. Back again in Train Sim World 6. Back again, and this time to start a new adventure. Yes, down here on the East Coastway route in Eastbourne. Going to be starting an adventure to get from Eastbourne to Edinburgh. What can possibly go wrong? And only in Train Sim World 6. There are a few gaps. We'll run through it in a second. For those watching on YouTube, hello. There'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get Train Sim World 6. There'll be a link down there to the Twitch page where you can watch me live on Twitch, and the link down there to the Discord server as well. Let's get on board. Good afternoon to Trent, to Kerry, to Tiger, and to Nico, because I'm late. And good afternoon to Magic Feet. I'll close this door. We'll open the we'll open the train doors, and there we go. And then we'll go through what the plan is. So we're starting in Eastbourne, and we're going to go to Edinburgh. So starting off, Eastbourne to Brighton, then Brighton to Victoria, and then nip across from Victoria to the Bakerloo line to go Elephant and Castle to Harrow, then get on West Coast Main Line south to go Harrow to Milton Keynes. Then, because we haven't got the connection yet, we're going to have to get a bus or something up to Birmingham, and then do Birmingham to Crewe. Then there's a gap, and then Preston to Carlisle, and then there's a gap, and then we'll do Glasgow to Edinburgh. So we end up in Edinburgh. So that is the plan. But first things first, we have to get to Brighton. And what I'm going to try and do is attempt to be reasonably professional and continue with time. So we're starting here at 5:40 in the morning. When we get to Brighton, we'll then try and carry on at as close a time as we can from Brighton and see what time we get to Edinburgh. Right, so let's get going then. Hampden Park is our first stop. Hi Dean, hi Nige. So yes, I did a roaming driver series in Train Sim Classic a few years ago, and I thought, well, what can I do that's similar in this? And looked at the map and thought, oh, I know. There's a plan. Obviously, there are some gaps. I was going to do the whole of the West Coast Main Line, so maybe that's something we'll do when we get more bits of the West Coast Main Line. I thought, well, Eastbourne to Edinburgh? Yeah, that sounds like something we can do. So this first bit is going to be, there's not much of a gap. We're only going to have, obviously, Eastbourne to Brighton, Brighton to Victoria. There's a little gap where we've got to get across to the Bakerloo line. Then it's up to Harrow and then to Milton Keynes. So there's not much of a gap all the way to Milton Keynes. If we had something else that came from Clapham, so if when we get the Mildmay from Clapham, we could have got from the Mildmay round to Harrow without changing. But we'll go with this route. Hi, McBone. And see how we do. So yeah, whatever time we get to Brighton, we should be able to route hop to Brighton and then get a train, the next train out, hopefully up to Victoria. So I don't know how far I'm going to get today. It may end up that I'll stop halfway along the Bakerloo line, and if that's the case, then wherever we get to, I will start there next time. So we'll get going. So what are we in anyway? We're in a train. 377. You mean you ain't doing a really long stream? What, do the whole thing in one go? Blimey, no. What is it? It's 8 components, I reckon 4 streams? 3 or 4 streams? So we should get to the Bakerloo today. That would be the plan. Uh-oh. Okay, so you know what we've done there? Okay, so that was... So what we'll do is... we'll start that again. Oh dear. Right. Okay. That was a practice. That was a practice run, just to see. I didn't even make it. I didn't even make it to the first station. 4 minutes of which was the intro. Okay. Right. So this time, be wary if there's a red light down here. Okay, no, it's going to be fine. We'll make it to Edinburgh. It's not a problem. Right, okay. Professional, see? Not everyone could be this good at this. It takes skill to be this good. Right, lock the doors. Didn't want to get as far as Bakerloo anyway. There we go. You might want to rethink the fourth stream length. Oh crap, hang on. We got a red here now. I think because I was late, there's a train on the other platform that's left in front of me. That left in front of me while I was doing the intro thing. Which is, there we go. That's just leaving now. Right, yeah, for those that have joined late, the plan is Eastbourne to Brighton, Brighton to Victoria, then nip across the Elephant Castle to Bakerloo line up to Harrow, Harrow to Milton Keynes, Birmingham to Crewe, Preston to Carlisle, Glasgow to Edinburgh. Obviously, eventually we're going to get Crewe to Preston, which would be quite nice, and eventually we're going to get Milton Keynes to Crewe, so you'll be able to do a lot more of this, but that's it for now. Oh, that's going to Hastings, is it? Okay. Right, so we'll wait for the lights to... Well, that's obviously... hang on a minute, I've just worked this out. That's obviously why we had a red in front of us, wasn't it? Because it was that train. See? I'm not as stupid as Tiger looks. I might not be able to brake in time for a red, but, you know. Right, there we go. Right, we've got a yellow, then there's a red. You know red means stop. Okay, can we make it to the first stop this time? Practice run, that's what it was. It's a practice run. He did make a career out of this. Right, double yellow. Right, wait for the speed limit increase. There we go. Right, let's go. Never been to Eastbourne. Not sure if it's a place that I want to go. Went to Eastbourne? I can't remember going to Eastbourne. Been to Hastings. Quite liked Hastings. Never did Eastbourne. Right. Can we make it? Can we get to the first? There's a red. There's a red. There's a red. There's a red light. Oh, Eastbourne's for old people, so you fit in there quite well, Tiger. I thought that was Bournemouth as well, was God's waiting room. Right, red. So will you. At least you're actually 26. Are you saying I'm not? Controversial. Hi, Sim. You haven't missed anything at all. Nothing. It's all gone perfectly smoothly. Right, we stopped before the red light. If you notice that, the professionalism that we've just carried out here, stopping before you get to the red. That's what that's what you're supposed to do. See, when there's a red, you stop before you get to it. You don't go past it. 7-mile hike, nice. I plan on going for a wander tomorrow morning. We wandered lonely as a cloud. How do clouds wander lonely? We still seem to have a red light. Has this gone badly already? Is this... I need to have a look at the map, don't I? Right. Okay, we are there. There's a train in front. Stop. Arrived at instruction. Okay, so we've got to wait for that train to leave the platform, which has got a green. So depending on what time it should be leaving, then we can enter the platform. Hi, Rich D. The Hastings points just after Hampton. In that case, we shall wait. Doobie 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 doobie. Can we actually see the train? Yes, we can. It's there. The train is still in. Hopefully at some point it'll leave. Well, we're late now because of the train in front of me. So what's causing that to not be going where it should be going? I thought we'd get off to a flying start. I thought we'd get as far as Brighton easily. You know, no issues because we haven't had any so far. It has the green, yeah. It's still sat there. So is it early? But it's only come one stop. How is there that much? It started at Brighton, so how is there that much slack built into the timetable for one stop? I vote to remove it from the map. Yeah, I'm wondering, unless it's... No, because it's got the green. So it's not waiting for something, is it? Otherwise, we're never going to get there. Oh, it's moving. It's gone. It's moving. It's fine. It's on the way. There we go. Right, so that's going to turn off a different way then. After this, and then we should have a clear shot to Brighton. So yeah, so I'll continue this on New Year's Day. There's another train stream at lunchtime, and potentially Saturday as well, and then back to normal routine next week. But if not, it'll certainly be New Year's Day, but it might be next Tuesday. We'll see how we go. So I'm thinking at least 3 streams to get to Edinburgh. Could it run into 4? It's about an hour, isn't it, each segment? It's going to take us to 2 hours, I think, just to get to Victoria. 3 streams to lose at this rate. No, we stopped at the time. That's what we're thinking. So Eastbourne to Brighton, about 40 minutes-ish. Brighton to Victoria is an hour and something, isn't it? So then Elephant and Castle to Harrow, that's about 50 minutes. Harrow to Milton Keynes, that's going to be about 40 minutes. Birmingham to Crewe's an hour. Preston to Carlisle's an hour. Glasgow to Edinburgh's 50 minutes. We can actually run into quite a bit of... You notice the coach as well, see? Even the coach in the background says Eastbourne to Edinburgh. See how professional I am. Right, Polegate. Hopefully we should now get greens and get a full run. 2.3 miles. Because it's semi-fast. Or will it be a stop? I don't know. Carriage design instead of bathroom painting. If you've not read the Discord, I looked down the back garden earlier and thought, could I have a tidy up in the back garden? It's like one of those things, isn't it? Where it's like, if anybody's seen Black Books, the TV series, which is awesome, where Bernard's trying to do everything other than do his taxes. And he's folding socks and talking to Jehovah's Witnesses and everything. I'm doing that instead of doing the painting. Have you turned your account into a jacket? Oh, that's an awesome series. Those first few episodes of Black Books are just amazing. That's the sort of show you want to come back to TV. Can you imagine Bill Bailey and Dylan Moran doing another Black Books? Yeah, it was like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, whatever it was. 3rd season was a bit naff. You have Simon Pegg in one of them as well, running the bookshop next door. Right, braking. Alright, got a 35. Around to Polegate. It's been a long time since I've done any train sim world. I think the last one was the Holiday Express. Right, we're only a couple of minutes late. It's fine. This is definitely where you want announcements. The routes we've got now, they've got announcements on them. It just seems weird when you're on a route that hasn't. Right. We have arrived at Polegate. We would have been on time if it wasn't for that train in front of us. And stop. So if we can get to Brighton within the first hour of the stream, which means we can certainly get to Victoria today, unless there's any hold-ups. Depends on how long it takes us to get to Victoria. If we do a semi-fast or fast service, if we do the Gatwick Express, we won't stop that often. It shouldn't take us too long to get to Victoria, which means we might be able to do a bit of the Bakerloo line today. All right, Berwick. .7 of the miles. As long as you finish in time to watch Back to the Future 2. Okay. Don't. I sorted out my Blu-ray collection earlier, and I realised that, well, I've got too many, but realised I've got gaps in my collection. So then there's films I need to buy now to complete the collection. It's on at 10 to 3. But I have to watch the first one first, and I've got time to do that. I've started taking shelves down in the spare room, so I want to finish that after the stream before it gets dark. Oh, the first one was on yesterday. I love watching them with someone for the first time, which is what I did a few months ago. Well, 8 or 9 months ago. You get to the end of the first one, and it's like, well, right, come on then. What happens now? And then you get to the end of the second one, and I think that's more of a cliffhanger at the end of the second one than the first one was. Because then you've got to carry on and watch the third one. Alright. I'm making good progress. We're running late. I was going to actually sit down and try and work out a proper timetable. But I, just in case I end up running late or doing something I never do, which is running a red, would then put me behind. So I didn't bother. Although the time reset, didn't it? So technically I've gone back in... Gotta go back in time. Right, so we've got a 75, then a 90, 1.2 miles to Berwick. If you've just joined, yes, starting a new adventure, going from Eastbourne to Edinburgh. So starting off by doing Eastbourne to, not in one stream, Eastbourne to Brighton, Brighton to Victoria, hopping across to the Bakerloo line, going up to Harrow, West Coast Main Line south from Harrow to Milton Keynes. There's a gap then between Milton Keynes and Birmingham. Then doing Birmingham to Crewe, and then another gap. Then doing Preston to Carlisle, and then another gap. And then doing Glasgow to Edinburgh. Hopefully over the next over 3 or 4 streams. No, didn't put it into emergency brake. Honest, you were seeing things. Right, we have arrived at Berwick. Yeah, I thought about starting down in Cornwall, but there's a lot of gaps. Once you get... Also, you could have done... I was thinking you could have done Penzance to St Austell, and then you could have done Plymouth to Exeter, and then there's just a huge gap before the next line, which would have been Birmingham. So then I looked and thought, okay, this works. Did think about Southeastern High Speed, starting it, but then Eastbourne to Edinburgh sort of rang better. And these two lines are really well connected. Right, Glynde in 4.4 miles. However you're pronouncing it. So it should be a 40-something minute run from Eastbourne into Brighton. Should be. Obviously, with all my professionalism, it's going to be about an hour. Because, you know, someone plonking a red light in the way initially. So we've had one train going the other way so far. Obviously, this is a relatively quiet line. There'll be a bit more once we get from Brighton to Victoria. That'll be busier. Certainly when we get up towards Clapham. That last bit's ridiculously busy. Green lights stop, red lights go. Yeah, I might agree with that, but the game generally doesn't. It doesn't like you running reds. Generally frowned upon. We've caught up. Well, so we caught up a little bit of time. We've still got 2 miles to go. Yeah, I thought about doing the 314 timetable for this, and I thought I'd just do it in the 2020 timetable, because we'll probably end up in one of these then going up to London, or 387. Or 700. Or 387 will be the Gatwick Express, won't it? So that'll just stop at, well, Gatwick. Okay, into Glynde, here we come. I'm running about 2 minutes late. Okay, doors opening. So we got Lewes, Farmer, Molescombe and Brighton to go. Door is closing. Yeah, but if we can get to Victoria today, I'll be happy. If there isn't too many issues. And then we'll start next time, which will be New Year's Day, then on the Bakerloo. And then we should be able to get maybe to Crewe. Because it won't be long to get to Milton Keynes, and we jump to Birmingham, get to Crewe. And then I'll leave Preston to Carlisle, Glasgow to Edinburgh. So yeah, I reckon three streams to get the whole lot done. I've got to remember what time we arrive at Victoria, and then we'll start off from there on the Bakerloo line within the hour. Alright, 2 miles to go to Lewes, and then finish with a lap of honour around the 5 circle. That was my original idea, was to go from as far south in the UK to as far north as we could, but I said there's just too many big gaps in between. I think on some of the German routes, some of them are a bit closer. But then I thought, well, because of this first bit, this actually connects really well. Obviously, the bits around Manchester connect quite well, just not here. Once we get Milton Keynes to Crewe, and then we get Crewe to Preston, it will be great. And if we ever got anything, so if the Mildmay, if that ever ended up getting to Clapham, or if there was the other overground line that did Clapham round to Stratford, then you could get off at Clapham, go to Stratford, go Stratford to Willesden Junction, then get on the West Coast Main Line, and then you'd be able to get all the way up to Carlisle. That would be great. So there's just a couple of gaps that we need to complete. Right, in we come. It's a very slow approach, isn't it? Is it because of old track technology, maybe, or old points? It's not the curve or anything. It's quite an interesting station. One of those I think it'd be quite interesting to visit, because it's triangularness. There's a word. Oh god. Okay. Right. So we've got to be quick now. At the moment I've got the green. But it doesn't change. And that over there gets the green. We're running late. So hopefully it keeps us as having the green. And we can't afford for the other train to get out before us. Oh yeah, they've got the red. Nope, we're all good. Farmer next. Oh, slight speeding. Forgot about the reduced speed limit coming out of there. It's like, yeah, gain it. Apparently it's a combination of the curve, junction signalling, and historical adhesion issues. Ooh. Well, why don't they sort it out then? It's quite simple, surely. How hard can it be? It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Sounds like Steve driving in 2005. Yeah, just close it for a week over Christmas. Done. Bus replacement, train replacement, bus replacement, train. Closing the track for a week for your long-term benefit, which no one cares about, do they? You're just the fact that you're inconvenienced that day. I was looking at trains down to Penzance for the end of January. I had in my mind 24th of January, Saturday. I thought, great. 2 weeks for the birthday trip, a couple of weeks after the whole getting back to work thing. Brilliant. No. Bus replacement services running. Either trying to send me to Reading and then down, or to Bristol and then down. So it doesn't look like any trains that weekend going out of Swindon. So it won't be that weekend then. Okay, 2.9 miles to Farmer. In Farmer. And then we're into Brighton. Oh, it's like Madonna buying property at Compton Abbas and then buying the airfield up next to her property and then closing the airfield because of the noise. We did do Fallout yesterday for about 40 minutes and realised it wasn't for us, and then switched and did Repo instead. So yeah, the two streams yesterday I was really looking forward to. I enjoyed Red Dead in MP. I think that the downside to that was if we'd have been in multiplayer, so both been stood at the same place at the very beginning, I think we'd have been fine. But having to wait to get us both into the same world just threw off the whole like dynamic of the stream. And then Fallout we just didn't get on with. Yeah, and I think we will do more Red Dead in MP. I'm going to carry on with a single player campaign next week, next Wednesday. And then we'll stick it back in MP. I could drive to Pewsey for the Penzance trip. Oh. Or maybe Chippenham. Are they going Chippenham down to Westbury? Could do Chippenham to Westbury? I'll have to look into that. It was that weekend I was actually looking at. Right. Oh, it depends if GWR have their sale, of course. Well, it wasn't that expensive to do a single. But I do want to go first class. Right, we've caught up a bit of time. Now only a minute late at Farmer. Okay, opening doors. So making our way to Brighton. If you've just joined, the plan is over the next couple of streams, we started off in Eastbourne. So we're doing Eastbourne to Brighton, then it's Brighton to Victoria, then Elephant Castle to Harrow on the Bakerloo line, Harrow to Milton Keynes on the West Coast Main Line South, Birmingham to Crewe, because we can't get Milton Keynes to Birmingham yet, then Preston to Carlisle, because we can't get Crewe to Preston, and then Glasgow to Edinburgh, because we can't get from Glasgow to from Carlisle to Glasgow. So as much as we can do over the next couple of streams. Right, Molescombe next, and then into Brighton. And then what we'll do is we'll route hop when we get to Brighton and try and get the next service out going to Victoria. You download well, yeah, it's a grey area, McBone. Personally, because it's free, you can do the free version, or it's £2 to do the paid version. Just pay the £2 and just re-download it on your own computer. It's not like you're spending £50, is it? I'm going to wait for Pro Mods. We're doing a stream this Friday, which won't be in Pro Mods. And I think once we get rid of the snow thing, then we'll look at Pro Mods again. Thing is, I do get fed up with Pro Mods, because if you're playing it a lot, great. I see the benefit of putting Pro Mods in. Because we're only streaming it, you know, even if we did it once a week, we probably get 2 streams out of it, 3 at a push, and there's an update. Pro Mods breaks. And then you got to wait for Pro Mods to be updated. Then you got to re-download Pro Mods. So I just get really annoyed with Pro Mods. For the size of map now and how brilliant the map is now, yeah, I'm almost not going to bother with Pro Mods anymore. Yeah, you get Iceland, but eventually we'll get Iceland. I'd rather look at other mods for ETS2, because it just keeps breaking all the time. Hey, we definitely gained a bit of time now. We're only 22 seconds late. See? Professional. Despite what you lot think, and what may have happened at the beginning, professional. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna not bother anymore with Pro Mods. Yeah, I don't do much driving in the UK. There's so much with Nordic Horizons, Chef Lad, that's just so good. And I'm really looking forward to the stream we're doing on Friday, you know, in coaches, in Italy, in the snow. I'm really, you know, that snowy, wintry mod thing that we used, that's awesome. And, you know, I want to do something with rigids, so we'll do something with those. And then, yeah, I think there's so much more that there is to the map now. You don't really need Pro Mods. Yeah, the Middle East is interesting. We might be in snow ourselves by Friday. I was going to go out on Friday. Going out tomorrow. Going out on Friday. Out on Saturday. Right, Brighton is next. So then what we'll do is we'll route hop over to London Commuter. Streams coming up, by the way. Tonight we're back attempting something else in multiplayer with some SnowRunner. Starting from the very beginning, or the point where you unlock MP in SnowRunner. That's tonight. Tomorrow, lunchtime, to end the year out, we are looking at The Sims 4. Spending a bit of time with our Sims 4 household and seeing what they get up to. That's tomorrow lunchtime. Tomorrow night, we may be doing a quiz. Depends how many people we can get for it. At the moment, we're a couple short to do it. I'll confirm by the end of tonight's stream whether that is going to happen or not. And then New Year's Day, at lunchtime, I'm going to carry on with this journey. New Year's Day evening is going to be something. I don't think I've committed to what that's going to be yet. And then on Friday, lunchtime is Fernbus. Friday night is the coaches stream, so coaches day on Friday. Coaches stream in ETS2. Saturday lunchtime, then it'll either be some more of this, or we'll do something MP. Maybe me and Trenty doing some portaling. And then Saturday night is Repo. Did some of that last night, which is so good. Carrying on that on Saturday night. And to end off the Christmas streams, Sunday lunchtime, we're back on the farm, where I think we're going to attempt to harvest the big cotton field, the one we planted in the last stream. So lots of stuff still to come for the rest of this week. Normal streaming schedule then starts next week, Tuesday to Saturday for next year. Early at Brighton. See? Professional. And you doubted me. We said Ed was going to do it. Well, we're just going to hire a load of cotton harvesters, and depending on how many people we get on, we'll just trundle around with cotton harvesters. Whether we get it all done or not, don't know. Might be one of those things that we'll start harvesting before the stream and you'll join us on the stream. Who are you and what have you done with Steve? Look, you keep thinking I'm not a professional. I am. Okay. So, return to free roam. We'll get out of here. We'll route hop to London to Brighton. At Brighton. Hopefully one day we get the ability to just load connected routes together rather than having to do this. It would be so nice. Because, you know, our train's vanished now, the one we just came in on. Yet, in theory, it should be there because it's the same time. Right, so it's 6:20. 6:29 to Victoria, 6:44, and 6:32. What are you, and where are you going? West Worthing. Oh, blimey, you're a thing. Right, have we got... Yes, we have. Okay, so we can speed up time. Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll take the Gatwick Express, 6:29 then, going to Victoria. That's a long one. Not as long as that one. Blimey. Okay. Door. Yep. Okay. Key in. Reverser into forward. Headlights to day, tail lights off, open the window, so we are good to go. Easy. Alright, let's speed up time a little bit then. Is anything else going to come and go? I always thought the Brighton would be one of those busy stations that would be great to do a rail cam on. I've yet to find another one that's as busy as Clapham. Thoughts on the station train dispatcher being a core feature of Train Sim World 7? That's not been confirmed. In their poll, in the questionnaire, it was one of the things, what were things would you like to see, and dispatching was an option. I liked the scenario that there was where you dispatch the trains. That was quite interesting. A bit like the guard feature, though. Personally, I can't see it be something that I would use. Yeah, the guard thing, I think I've done it once, twice. The only way I think the guard and dispatcher would be really, really interesting to do is with multiplayer. Because that then would just open up so much more. If they brought a multiplayer aspect to this, and even if it was on one line, and yeah, if you're train driving and you ran a red, your train would despawn. But to dispatch trains and they were your mates, MP isn't impossible. If other train games can do multiplayer, it has to be possible. If other Sims can do multiplayer, it has to be possible. Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest features that's been talked about. You know, personally, I'd love to see some sort of virtual train company, a bit like we have in OMSI. That would be awesome. So integrate some sort of finance or economy system into it. So you run your train company. And again, a bit like OMSI, you know, you and people that are working for your train company would trundle up and down the route earning money. You unlock more trains. You have to maintain the trains. You can unlock more routes. I think that would be so interesting. Yeah, multiplayer's not impossible to do. Right. Okay, Hassocks is our first stop. So where are we going? We're going Hassocks, Haywards Heath, Gatwick Airport, and Victoria. So we arrive at Victoria at 7:28, so an hour. So if we get held up anywhere, then that could be us just getting as far as Victoria today. So then on New Year's Day, we then do Bakerloo, then Milton Keynes, and then potentially Birmingham to Crewe. Unless we can get some of... That could be interesting, actually. What if we get some of the way up the line on the Bakerloo today, and then have to start on foot on the Bakerloo on New Year's Day? I think that could be an interesting end and an interesting start. Still waiting on the platform. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see if we can get a couple of stops up the Bakerloo today. Right, 6 miles. We didn't do the Gatwick Express, I think, when we went down to Brighton. I'm sure we were on the Thameslink. I don't think I've got the Thameslink mod in anymore. I might have for this, but this will put me in standard timetable, not the modded timetable. So we won't see any Thameslink trains running around. Zoomy, zoomy. Right. Onwards. Yeah. Victoria. And then Elephant and Castle up. If you just joined, this is what the plan is over the next couple of streams. Eastbourne to Edinburgh. So we started in Eastbourne today, we've just done Brighton. We just left Brighton on our way to Victoria. Then we're going to hop across to the Bakerloo line and do Elephant and Castle to Harrow. Today we might get a couple of those stops done. Then we'll do Harrow to Milton Keynes on the West Coast Main Line South. Birmingham to Crewe, because we can't get from Milton Keynes to Birmingham yet. Then we can't get from Crewe to Preston yet. That's coming. So then it's Preston to Carlisle. And then because we can't get any further north than Carlisle, we're then going to do Glasgow to Edinburgh. So hopefully over the next 3 streams, that is the plan. So first bit's done. So now I can't remember if we can actually route hop to the Bakerloo when we get to Victoria. If we can, then we will. If we can't, then we'll go back to the menu and just remember the time that we arrive, which should be at 7:28. Then we'll have to remember that time for when we carry on New Year's Day. Not sure how many people will be around for that one, because there could be a few sore heads. There should be, hopefully, a non-red light running run. They'll never run a red. Never happens. That's quite tunnely. It does seem to be it's quite dark. Can you ask a question? If it's related to SnowRunner, no. Because you've been on that 20-minute start to SnowRunner for about the last hour and a half now. Yeah, you just did ask a question. So I'm guessing it's not going well for Nico with SnowRunner. The bit to get the initial garage is about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I'm sure Nico's been on it for the last hour and a half. So tonight's stream's going to go well. because we may not have unlocked the garage by the time we actually get there. You've unlocked the first garage. Well, that's the point where you should have stopped, because that's where we're carrying on from tonight. You're in Roadcraft. I didn't like Roadcraft. I don't know if I only played the demo to Roadcraft, though. I don't know if I've got the full game. I can't remember. It's like the Expedition thing. I didn't like that either. That was broken. Right, we've arrived at Hassocks early. Look, early. With the earliness and the early. So yeah, so if you haven't got too far ahead, Nico, because the idea was that I can't remember it. Tiger's never played it. You'd never played it, so we all learned together. I'm guessing that's not the case. It took an hour and a half to unlock the first. Oh God! Yeah, tonight's stream's going to be interesting. Right. Right then, let's go on a hunt, shall we? Do 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 do. Where are you? You've got to be here, some. Baldy! There you are. That's an interesting coloured shirt you're wearing. Better late than never. Yeah. There we go. Always surprises me with this, whether this is because, yeah, this is in the standard timetable, not the 700 timetable, that it's quiet. Also, with 700 mod in, you'll see 700s going up and down. It's so busy. I think this is still the busiest route for Train Sim World, and because it's awesome. When you get up to Clapham, that's why I wanted to see the overground at Clapham as well. Because imagine if you had both overground lines coming in. Imagine doing a rail cam from that. That would I could just sit there all day and watch that. Right, we've got 5.6 miles to Haywards Heath. Yeah. Even the run out of Waterloo towards like Windsor would be interesting. Because then you imagine then having the Windsor spur on the Great Western as well, so you have both stations into Windsor. Never done that by train, never been to Windsor. Again, that was always discussed with our ex-comrade, was to go to Windsor and go between both stations. And yeah, that Portsmouth Harbour will be really good as well, because that's a fairly busy station. There's quite a lot goes in and out of there. You got GWR stuff. Haywards Heath, is that near the caravan site in Paul? No. This is north of Brighton, dear. Yerd. Okay, Trent. Right, so we've got 3.5 miles to go to Haywards Heath in our Gatwick Express 387. Holton Heath. Yeah, the Holton Heath. I was trying to think of the name of it as well. Does anyone know what in music finishes today? What in music finishes today? What? Some sort of cryptic question. No idea what you're on about, Chef Lad. Train. Yeah. Has everyone been on the sherry today? I know it's that bit between Christmas and New Year when no one knows what... It's the last day of MTV in Europe. I don't think it's going to be missed. I'm surprised it lasted this long. They had to diversify into doing reality shows and things, didn't they? To keep going. A bit like VH1. Who watches music? Well, those people do watch videos on the YouTubes. I do. Music stuff. Live stuff is what I generally watch, though. What an odd day to end, though, on the 30th. You'd think they'd end on the 31st. I put an audio mod in for the 387s and the 375s, etc. I think it's made it worse. Got like some Cyloning audio going on. Oh, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay. I don't think I'll be tuning in for that. Connor? Yeah, I just for the stream I put in a sound mod. If I close the window, I close... Oh no, don't open the door. There you go. I'll try closing the window, that might improve it. Maybe I didn't do the mod correctly. I'm not Nico. Yeah, I've tried closing one window, see if that makes a difference. Oh, that would be an apt song to play last, wouldn't it? Can I do a Scottish accent? No. Right, we've arrived here early. Well then, it'd be quite an apt way to end, wouldn't it? Yeah. End with the same song that you started with. That'd be quite... hopefully someone's planned that. Has anyone looked to see what the programme guide is?
If you see anything suspicious, please tell a member of staff or the police.
See it, say it, sort it. Right, so yes, we started off in Eastbourne, went to Brighton. We're now doing Brighton to Victoria. And then we're going to jump across to the Bakerloo line, head up a couple of stops to the Bakerloo line today. And then we'll carry on the Bakerloo line on New Year's Day at lunchtime. And then make our way to Harrow. And then it'll be Harrow on the West Coast Main Line up to Milton Keynes. Jump to Birmingham, do Birmingham to Crewe. Jump to Preston, do Preston to Carlisle. Of which there's a change there. And then do Glasgow to Edinburgh. Because obviously we can't do it all. Because there are bits missing. No, you can't do it in one. So yeah, so that's the plan. Eastbourne to Brighton, Brighton to Victoria, Elephant and Castle to Harrow, Harrow to Milton Keynes, Birmingham to Crewe, Preston to Carlisle, and Glasgow to Edinburgh. hopefully, starting it today, carrying on New Year's Day, Thursday, and then may finish it off on Saturday. We shall see. And then back to normal Tuesday night Train Sim World, starting again next week. You got nothing else to do except paint and be a handyman. Well, yeah, I've started taking shelves off the spare room. Just literally 10 minutes before I sat down here. Realised that there's some lights on the wall in the spare room, and when I painted around the lights. So if I take the lights off, there's going to be 2 patches of the original coloured paint. So I might have to go and find a couple of pictures to hang over those temporarily until I repaint. No, nothing's sold on eBay. So I'll just relist it when it don't sell. Right, let's get going. Right, 11 miles to Gatwick. I've such a clear out and tidy up in the house. I've almost got regret about not having people here now for New Year. I'm sure we'll sort something out. Maybe Easter. Transport Fever 2. I'm going to play Transport Fever 3. We can all visit on New Year's Eve, which is tomorrow. Bit short notice. Yeah, I'm going to be doing Transport Fever 3 when that comes out for sure, because that looks like that's going to be brilliant. And I think that's something that I probably will just sit in a regular slot, because I think that's going to be so good that that'll be like a Wednesday Eve. If you send us your address, we'll turn up. Yeah, I'll just post it on the stream, shall I? Can't, we got a stream plan now. It's not a 2-point game next year. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with the museum one. The hospital one's the best one. The hospital's one I'd go back and do again, and go back and do again and again and again. That's the one. How did you guess? 123 Swindon Road. Yeah, I could probably go to that address. I don't think they'd be impressed. Passing trains on a bridge. Or just go to the PO box. I don't have a PO box. That's never happening. I'll have you lot just sending random stuff. No thanks. Right. Mostly Oxo Cube and Jelly Bean. I've still got bloody half a bag of dolly mixture that I've been going through the last couple of months. You've got an aunt? So you've got an aunt that lives at Roy Bridge? How did you communicate with her? Can you speak Ant? At least the audio's better now. I've shut one window. Well, there was Roy Bridge Day, wasn't there? God, how many years ago was that? That's got to be 5 or 6 years ago now as well. That's when the streams really were random. It was May. May Bank Holiday weekend was Roy Bridge Day. Oh, really, Nige? That was bad. I need to sort something for March to mark the 10-year anniversary of my first YouTube video. I can't believe it's been 10 years of doing this rubbish. Right, 90 coming up, 5 miles. We've got plenty of time. We've got a bit of slack at Gatwick by the looks of things. How do you think we feel? We've been watching it. Thanks, Nigel, for your continued support there. It means a lot. This time next year, when you're sat at that point between Christmas and New Year, you'll be going, oh, I wish Steve was still streaming. Or Nigel won't. I do want to do something to recreate the 10 years. I can't remember if was it ETS2 or was it OMSI? It might have been ETS2. I think 10 years is enough for putting up with me in it. Keeps getting our hopes up. We never know. I might drop a surprise announcement tomorrow night after the stream. You know, I've put up a schedule for next week. There's no guarantee I'm actually going to do it. It could be like, you know, there is a YouTube video going out at midnight tomorrow night. So if you wake up on New Year's Day and the Discord server's gone, you know, don't be surprised. Right, yeah, we're definitely early. And yeah, the modded timetable version of this with the 700s in feels so much busier. No, there is a YouTube video going out at midnight. Yeah, there is a lot of OMSI, but I think the first video was actually an ETS2 from memory. I need to check. I've got a couple of months. Yeah, I've got a busy couple of months. Well, January's not. February, March, April and May. There may be a few gaps in the streams. I would never run a red. That's fine. Really? Yeah, never. I think one of my first videos was actually a Assetto Corsa, which was how I got into this. I'm not sure if they're public or they might actually be private. Was how I started doing this, was joining a group on Google Plus, doing a weekly Assetto Corsa run. So set car, set track, and you had a week to put your fastest time in, and then the way to prove that was to record it and then upload it to YouTube as a private video, send them the link, they'd watch it back and confirm you did the time. And that's when I then started chatting to those guys that were doing that, who then convinced me to start doing OMSI and ETS2. And then we organised a Google Plus page, and then we moved to Discord when Google Plus shut down. I think the only person that's still around from that era, well, Liam's been around since the Google Plus days, Ed has, and Larwood, but Larwood now has sort of left the community. I haven't really heard from him for the last like 8 or 9 months.
May I have your attention, please?
No.
Closed circuit television and remote video monitoring is in use
Right.
at this station for
See-
your personal safety and security.
Where are we? 8. Hovercraft at Southsea, yeah. That's this is the one I'd like to do. Is the 166 down here. There's also the 166 that goes to Portsmouth Harbour. That's something I'd like to do. I kind of miss the going out on trains. Not because trains, but because of I liked the travelling. I quite liked some of the quirky routes and things that I've done over the last couple of years. So I actually want to get myself back out there and carry on doing that next year. So some of those obscure routes, I think, will be quite an interesting, Saturday day out or Sunday day out. Yeah, the first game really was a Assetto Corsa. They weren't really for public consumption. They were just for the group. I think I just made them public. The first proper one that was done for people was either ETS2 then or OMSI up north. I want to go to Newcastle. It's something a place I wanted to go for the last couple of years, and I do want to get to Locomotion. We didn't get there when we went to Doncaster because of flipping train issues. So I'd like to get back up and do Locomotion. So yeah, a few things I want to do. So I want to sit down the next couple of days and sort of plan something for each month of next year. Obviously I want to go on holiday, so I want to get to Fuerteventura. I want to do my ferry trip to Spain. So that's going to be a few days. I've got to work out my holiday for next year. As well as doing potentially a couple of meetups again. ETS2 was the first one. Yeah, so that's the one I want to recreate. So 10 years to the day. And I want to do the same truck. And if I can get the same, getting the same load would be difficult, wouldn't it? But I could get the same truck and do the same route. I'm guessing it was a quick job. No, I didn't talk in the first ones. I was too nervous. You find the first one I talked in, I had a microphone that was sat on the desk that was a dynamic mic that was picking up all the audio, and I sounded so nervous. You just bought SnowRunner. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I've never got off the first map. Obviously, we got Nico to deal with. Right. So now it's the dash to Victoria. And then we'll jump across to the Bakerloo line. You're not that bad, really. Don't forget, if you're one of the regulars, we're doing a quiz tomorrow night. Probably only like 6 till 8, so we do a couple of hours. It still gives you time to go off and enjoy the rest of New Year. We're a couple of people short. You haven't got to talk. Okay, 21 miles to Victoria. It's a confidence thing, isn't it? That's the thing. I was just so nervous initially, especially because I was recording stuff that like 2 people were watching, which, you know, similar to now. Although, oh my god, I didn't realise that my Truck Australia video, that's, wow. I need to do another one of those, doing it properly. And it is a confidence thing. Now I just don't care. I'll just prattle on for hours. Right, we've got an 80 limit coming up. So when we get to Victoria, we're going to jump across to the Bakerloo line. Hopefully we can route hop if we can find the route hop point, and then try and get a couple of stops up the Bakerloo line on our way to Harrow. Insert joke there. And then we'll carry on from Harrow, or wherever we get to, on New Year's Day. You realise that what other people think of you doesn't actually affect you. I don't. Well, yeah, people that I don't know what they think of me affects me, but when I know what people think of me, of course that affects you. Quite lucky for YouTube, people just think I'm an idiot and I'm incompetent and not the professional person that I actually am. You are. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing that I love about the community that we've got, is that once you get to know us, me, if you're slightly odd, then you'll fit in. Which is why, you know, people watch the streams, join the streams, they either get it or they don't, which is why when people follow, I take the mickey out of them if they've got an odd name. They'll either bite back, which I've said this before, someone said a few months ago that I was being cruel to people that followed, that almost as though I was taking the mickey out of them and ripping into them. It's not. If I was the other person, you know, if I followed someone and they instantly took the mickey out of my name, that's my opportunity to step in and respond. So I do it to see if the person that I've taken the mickey out of is one of us. So if they follow and they got a funny sounding name and I'm in the right mood, I'll rip into them. That then is, if they're not one of us and they don't like it, then they can leave. Unfollow if you like, go and find another channel. If they jump in with both feet and bite back, then that's you're in. That's the conversation starter. And as I've said, to all the people that have joined in with the streams over the years, watched the streams, been part of the community, have taken that step to join in with some of the games, have come to, the meetups. It starts with hello. It starts with that first chat in a live stream and get to know me, get to know us. And then you end up being someone like Nico, like Trent, like Tiger, like Dorset, like Amy Lou, like Stokey. They all started watching the streams. They all started by joining in on the streams and chatting, and then joining in with a few of the games. And now look. Oh God, Nigel, if I honestly thought you were being serious, you wouldn't still be here. I would have banned you ages ago. I love the banter. I genuinely do. And, this 2 weeks, the last person I had a face-to-face conversation with was Tiger. Saturday before last, when we came back from London. I've not seen anyone since then. No one. The thing that has kept me going, and the thing that keeps me going, is this community and these people. I genuinely look forward to the streams. It's the highlight of my day. I love the MP stuff. I love just having this conversation with you lot. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, I joke about ending next year, but I've said for the last 5 years, 6 years, this is my last year. And you lot keep me going. There's, the last couple of years, okay, I had someone amazing in my life that changed it, and it gave me a whole new look on the streams and life, and gave me a new energy. And okay, that changed 6 months ago. They moved on with their life. I struggled for the first couple of months. Now I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to doing some of these things that I want to do. I don't smell of cheese, unfortunately, but hi, Dan. So yeah, the meetups we did, that meetup that Saturday in London was great fun. Really enjoyed it. So it's that mix between, the online bit, the joining in the Discord community, the joining in with the games, then it's the doing the actual meetups. I'm looking forward to the trip we've got planned to Germany. I'm so looking forward to. I almost wish it was longer. Something I've said a lot, but And that's only for people that I've met on Discord. Me, Tiger, Nico and Trent are spending 4 days doing Amsterdam and Germany. I wouldn't have been doing that without this place. Tiger, Trent and Nico were going to be coming here tomorrow night for New Year's Eve. So yeah, if you're watching, if you're lurking and you're wondering whether this is the community for you, it's not just about me trundling along in trains talking crap. Tonight we've got some SnowRunner in multiplayer. Tomorrow lunchtime I'm doing The Sims 4. Our household has got people from the community in it. So we're doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow night we're doing a quiz with people from the community. So that's a bit of fun. New Year's Day at lunchtime, I'm going to carry on from this route wherever I get to today. New Year's Day night, don't know what we're going to do yet. There'll be something. You're driving around town looking for Mondeos tomorrow. Yeah, just don't go near the range tomorrow morning then, or Dunelm, because mine will be at both those places at some point tomorrow morning. Then, What's tomorrow? Wednesday. Thursday, New Year's Day is things. Friday we got the Fern Bus at lunchtime Friday. Then we're doing the multiplayer coach trip on Friday night in ETS2. So loads of stuff coming up. And back to normal next week. Back to work on Monday. That's going to be an interesting one. That got blocked by the mods, Dan. Yeah. I've played all the Sims, but yeah, we've got a household, which I'm streaming tomorrow lunchtime, which has got people in the community in it. We've got 7 of us in the household. The only person I control, though, throughout the whole stream is me. Everybody else just does what they want. So I don't control anybody. We did actually rig up multiplayer a few years ago and do it that way. He thought the range was yesterday. I was going to go this morning, but then decided to move all my Blu-rays around and stuff. So I've got to finish off spare room this afternoon, which it was going to be prepped for guests, but it'll be ready when I do get some. And then the range tomorrow morning and Dunelm. There isn't an official multiplayer, it's a hack. Basically what you do is you convince your PC that everyone playing is on the same IP. So basically what it is, each person logs in, but it's as though you're on the same IP address. So we had like 5 of us before, and we were all controlling our own character. And it worked really well. But yeah, tomorrow the only person I'm controlling is me. So everybody else is just going wild. We added Tiger to the household. I put him in a household. He instantly went and used the barbecue and set fire to it. So tomorrow when we start the stream, there'll be a burnt barbecue on the patio. I might have to look at mods for this and do another rail cam from here one day. I did enjoy that rail cam. Right, Victoria, if you have just joined, this is what I'm doing. So we started today in Eastbourne and went to Brighton. We then switched to do Brighton to Victoria, which is this. We're then going to switch across to the Bakerloo line and head up the Bakerloo line. Won't do it all. The plan is then to do the Bakerloo line to Harrow. So we'll finish at some point on the Bakerloo line today. New Year's Day, we'll carry on from that same station at the same time and go Harrow to Milton Keynes on the West Coast Main Line, Birmingham to Crewe, because we can't get from Milton Keynes to Birmingham, and then do Preston to Carlisle and Glasgow to Edinburgh. So that is the plan. So Eastbourne to Edinburgh over a number of streams. I was going to put in the mod where you see appendages when they take their clothes off, but realised that, you know, we might get people actually watching or watching it back on YouTube. And there's enough streams I have to put the 18 plus up because of Trent. Especially Repo, which are doing that again on Saturday night. Can we finally get past level 4 of Repo? Probably not. So yes, so next year, you know, we've got our big meet-up planned for February. The 4 of us are going to Germany. I do want to do something over Easter. So some sort of meet-up, I reckon, over the Easter weekend. Oh God, you're doing that again. Last time someone mucked that up. And yes, a few more things planned for next year. Oh, we got 2 eyes. Aye, aye. You lot are odd. No one ruin it by typing anything to get to the end. Ooh. We've gone from P. We've got a stutter now. R. Hang on. Oh no. Okay. Okay. That was. I'm guessing that was a timing thing. We got RS twice. T. Okay. Difficult to do with stream lag. Mauser. Yeah, there are stales occasionally. Not so much on Xbox because of Xbox. But they are the odd sale. It's always worth looking on what was CD keys. And don't forget, depending on what version of the game you're on, if you're running Train Sim World 6 and you're looking for routes, don't look for Train Sim World 6 routes. Any route from any of the train sims will run on Train Sim World 6. Yeah, we not go through all the numbers because we'll be here for days. Someone missed 11 out as well. So there you go, you failed. Yeah, alright guys, thank you. Enough now. Don't you humbug me? Ban a lot of them. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, don't forget, you can buy any DLC for Train Sim World, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will work on Train Sim World 6. Shall we do punctuation marks next? No. Yeah, check out other versions, but yeah, do look at CD keys, whatever it's called now, loaded. And Bakerloo lines, what, Train Sim World 3? Train Sim World 2? Be on the Bakerloo line in a minute when we get to Victoria. I don't think we'll get all the way to Harrow. Yeah, don't forget, if you want a sample of the Bakerloo line, just get West Coast Main Line South, because you get a chunk of the Bakerloo line in West Coast Main Line. And it's the enjoyable bit as well. It's the overground bit. Harrow, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are and I wonder what you do. No, good to know. Oh, we haven't been horny, hang on. There we go. I'm horny, 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 horny. Is there a cartoon dog that said Harrow? I don't know. The only cartoon dog I'm aware of was Snoopy. Or isn't Hong Kong Phooey a cartoon dog? Is it a dog? Oh, what's the one? What's the most popular route? Oh, blimey. I don't know. There you go. Bakerloo line is £2. Yeah, but he's on Xbox. McBone. One of my favourite routes. Well, difficult one now. I'd probably say my favourite route is probably West Coast Main Line South currently. It's one of the busier ones if you've got other layering. It's all about layering is Train Sim World. Uh-oh. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Fine. It's going to stop me now. I would have... Oh, that would have been close. Would that have spadded me? I reckon that would have spadded me. I only just spotted that in time. Yeah, West Coast Main Line South, brilliant. But I always, if you're into the UK stuff and you've got a lot of, yeah, being professional, you've got a lot of UK routes, my advice is have them all installed. Even if you're not going to be using them, have them installed because you get the layering. So you'll get other cargo routes showing up, you'll get other AI trains showing up, you'll see more stuff running around with all the layering turned on. What about Droopy, Scooby-Doo, Goofy, Pluto, the cartoon dog? Okay, there is more than one cartoon dog. Huckleberry Hound. Huckleberry Hound was cartoon dog. Right, we are 2 miles from the Victorias, then we'll switch across to the Bakerloos. Battersea Power Station, station. We were there 10 days ago. Felt like ages ago that we were at Battersea. 101 Dalmationes. Muttley? Okay. I think we're establishing. Brian Griffin. I gave up on Family Guy. I used to like Family Guy. What's the one? There was a cartoon, an animated series that was really good. And it had Alison Janney doing one of the voices that played CJ in The West Wing. And she was a poodle. And it was really funny. I don't know whether it ended or whether I just got bored of it. That's worth watching. You knew to train sim well, can ask why you stopped at an amber light. I didn't stop at the amber light. It was red. So I started braking when it was red, but it changed to amber when I got there. If it would have stayed red, I would have run it. So obviously in the UK, you get green, you get double yellow, single yellow, red. So if you've got double yellows in front of me, the next one's going to be a yellow. If you've got a single yellow in front of you, the next one is red. Or it could be another yellow. Crystal Tips and Alistair. Oh, blimey. Yeah, you are old, Nigel. Okay, so in we come into Victoria. Nice girl. Does a nice sponge. If you're new to the stream, hello. Yes, so I've put in there Eastbourne to Edinburgh Part 1. Wherever we get to today is where we're going to carry on from on New Year's Day at midday. And we'll make our way northwards. Only 4 different from me in one column. Sorry, what? Right, braking. Right, so you've got a 20. Oh, 1 for all, and all for 1. Okay, there were some good cartoon dogs then. Right, I now need to find where the route hoppy point is of Victoria when we get off of here. And then make our way. I think there's a route hop to Bakerloo. Actually, a mod I spotted this morning that allows for a lot of route hopping to any UK route. I feel slightly cheating. Right, in we come. We're coming into Victor. No, I'm not going to do it. PG. Early again. I'm seeing professional. Despite what happened at the beginning. Right, open doors. Diddle-de-doo, diddle-de-doo, diddle-de-doo-doo-doo. I was humming a theme to Z Cars yesterday. I don't know where that came from. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Z Cars. It was just a tune that was stuck in my head. Not that old. Right, everyone seems to be staying on the train. They obviously don't want to get off at Victoria. Right, so we've made it to Victoria. Let's get off then. And you sing along on Discord. No, close the door. I close my door. Okay, route hop. Can we go to the... We can't. So we can't go to the Bakerloo. That's a pain in the backside. Right, okay. So what's time? 7:27. So we have to go back to the main menu then. How many DLCs are in Train Sim World? You'll see all the routes in a second, because I've got all of them. So I'll scroll down all the routes. I've just gone past the one I want. There you go. That's all the routes. 100 and something, I think, is the total of DLCs now. Right, so Bakerloo line. Timmy table. We'll go 1972 stock. And so 727. So we'll give ourselves a bit of allowance. So we go 741. Elephant and Castle to Harrow. So that's 54 minutes. So we might not get halfway. We were in July. Okay. Train Sim World doesn't think the Isle of Wight's in the UK. Well, it shouldn't be really, should it? I want to go back over there again. We went over there last year. This year? This year. So I want to go back there again as well. Okay. And that into forward. Control key. In. That's fine. Okay, unlock doors. Unlock doors. Why is that not? There we go. Now unlock doors. Why are you not unlock doors, train? Okay. Why is it not showing that? Control key in. Directions in forward. That's all fine. Yeah, it's not. Oh God. Yeah, doors are open, but it's not showing as they're open. What is going on here? Are you broken? Well, I've got no traction. No, I suppose I wouldn't have any traction noise, would I? There's nothing else. I've direction selected in forward. Selection keys in. It's not coming up with my train to nowhere. No, I'm gonna restart in case it was some sort of glitch somewhere. Right. Key in. Yeah, once I'm going, I'm fine. Control key in. Control switch on. Unlock doors. I just heard them unlock, but it's not. Bar's not moving up. Okay. Right. Let's try a different service. I'll try a different train. What if it's that train? I don't think I've got any mods for the Bakerloo line that should affect it. Okay. London Underground, Bakerloo, timetable. We'll go with a standard 1972 then. Elephant and Castle to Harrow and Wheelsden. I'll put the date as it was, July. Okay, let's try this. Is this going to be more successful? As an elephant. Looking forward to Metro Rivals. That's going to be interesting. Right. That's in forward. Left door's unlocked. Control key in. Why aren't you working? Somewhere down there is the other one as well. Hang on, I've unlocked the wrong side. Hang on, bear with me. Have I now unlocked? Is it me or have we got half the train missing? Hang on. We seem to be a very short train. Why would it be a two? Right, I'm going to try this one more time. Have I got? Is there an issue with this then? Okay. I wonder if it is something I've got running on the modded version of the West Coast Main Line that's affecting this. Okay, let's do the 1938 stock. You've got to remember then, if we actually get this thing moving, to do that. Right. Reverse the key in. forward. Doors are unlocked. There we go. We're fine now. We're all good. Locked doors. Okay. Okay. Have I got another? There we go. Let's try that. Professional and all that. There we go. We're on the move. Headlight on. Is the 72 stock a bit modern for you? I think it might be because I've got a modded version of the West Coast Main Line installed. I reckon there might be an issue with that. So I've just got to remember then that when I carry on New Year's Day that I use a 1938 stock. Alright, we'll see how far we can get. The next 25 minutes or so. Remember, this has got a separate brake handle as well. It's not all in one. Alright, Lambeth North is next. And there is a red. There'll be some really confused passengers if this thing came in. Yeah, it must be a mod I've got on the West Coast Main Line. It's affecting because the trains on the West Coast Main Line. I might have to look at my mods and remove some. Well, I do the Bakerloo very often anyway. Right, Waterloo. There we finally made it to Waterloo last Saturday after a 25-mile walk. Battling through all the Christmas markets. The much needed sit was had. Yeah, it's well done. I'm not a fan of the underground routes. There's one for Train Sim Classic as well, isn't there? Because it's not that interesting until you get above ground, which is the bit you get with West Coast Main Line South. So that's enough for me, really. I'd rather see more overground stuff. There's only a couple more of those to do. You realise how tiring London can be. We did leave the house at like 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the high-speed bit of South Eastern High Speed. I'm looking forward to going through those tunnels in February. Because you don't appreciate how quickly you get to the Channel Tunnel until you've been on that high-speed bit of line. And I've done that down to Dover. Dover? Ramsgate, the bit of high speed. When you've been through one tunnel, you've been through them all. Well, yeah, it's a bit like that. So, yeah, it's well done, this route. But I'm glad they haven't rushed to do any more of the underground. I'd like to see the core bit of Thameslink. I think that could be interesting, going through London. So you could almost do a bit of the Thameslink linking up with Victoria and going up through the core, up to like out towards Luton, but no one obviously wants to go to Luton. North Circular Shopping Centre. Everything you need. Oh, blimey, yeah, I can imagine that was a bit of a letdown. At least now you're on high speed until you literally slow down to come into St Pancras. As I said, last time we went, we were late leaving Brussels, and it was an hour and 50 minutes from leaving Brussels to arriving at St Pancras. That's some pretty good going. I think, you know, two and a quarter hours after leaving Brussels, we were at Clapham waiting for the train. Which we just missed by about 25 seconds because someone was too tired to run up the stairs. Which didn't please my travelling companion. I was slightly grumpy Stevie on my birthday that day. Hopefully not the same this year. Next year. Alright, so we're going under the Thames currently. Then to Embankment. I do like doing the walk. We didn't do it this year. The walk across the bridge from Embankment across the Thames. I took a picture from Tower Bridge this time instead. I must go back to London again soon. I do enjoy just trundling around London. Your 50th year on this earth next year. You doing anything good to celebrate? I spent my last birthday in great company with someone I loved. I spent the birthday before in great company with friends and someone I loved. The birthday before that, did we go away then? Yes, with friends. Yes, my last 3 birthdays have been brilliant, and I'm really looking forward to the next birthday. How old was I before I arrived? I was 25 when I arrived for this one. Do I remember my 50th? I have promised that my birthday this year, well, February next year, will be my birthday. So, you know, 27. Right, into Charing Cross. So I don't know how far we're going to get. I think I'm only in forward 1 as well. That's why I'm going so slow. Can you tell us before you're missing for a fortnight? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure you can watch a bit of a stream. Watch a VOD back while you're away. Something to do on the journey back. Alright, unlock doors. Let's go to forward 2. Let's wang the speed up a bit. So, yeah, Piccadilly Circus, Oxford Circus, Regent's Park, Baker Street, Marylebone, Edgware Road, Paddington. I reckon Paddington's a good place to stop, isn't it? Actually, one of the options I was thinking about was starting at Reading. It's my closest station in Train Sim World. So yeah, I think we'll get to Paddington, and then we'll start at Paddington on New Year's Day. So then we do Paddington all the way up to Harrow and Willesden, and then we'll switch to West Coast Main Line at Harrow and Willesden rather than just do it further back. Right, so Piccadilly Circus is next then. So yeah, so we'll get to Paddington and then we'll stop there for today. Means I'll have to write down what time we arrived. Because what I want to do is take on this exact same service again. That'll be the timetable time, or when you get to Paddington. It has to be the timetable time, won't it? Because if I'm late, then it won't know that when I arrive. Not a train getting the other way. Yeah, so it'll be the timetable time. So if I arrive like 2 minutes late, technically then it might be the service behind. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off this service and let it leave, and then I'll get the one behind, which makes it easier then, doesn't it? And then we'll take that to Harrow and then get the next train that's going to Milton Keynes, whatever that's going to be. And then menu it to Birmingham, then do Birmingham to Crewe. If we can get to Crewe on New Year's Day, that leaves us Preston to Carlisle and then Glasgow to Edinburgh. The next one will be late too, as it's stuck behind the professional. Exactly. I'm only a minute late. That's pretty good for me. It's pretty much on time, although in underground terms I'd have probably been sacked. Because I'm coasting too much and slowing down too early. No, that's the one thing with this, because it's quite an old route, isn't it? They haven't really got passengers. Considering it's, 8 o'clock in the morning, there's no one around. Oh, aircon's just kicked in. Or fans just kicked in. Right, Regent's Park. No, even a Sunday it'll be busy. I've been on the tube at like 5 o'clock in the morning in London and 11 o'clock at night. Even on a weekday, it's quiet. Even on a Sunday once coming back, it wasn't quiet. I was amazed when we were out last Saturday that all the buses we were on, all the trains we were on, were just so busy. You forget how busy London is. I do like it. I did enjoy just travelling about. I'm going to be doing that again soon. I've had a couple of weeks of sitting in the house. Right, arriving at Regent's Park. Yeah, literally no one. Door is open. Yeah, so you're going to take this as far as Paddington, and that's where we'll end today. And then we'll carry on from Paddington on New Year's Day at midday. If you're around, if you're awake, if you're not got your head in a bucket through drinking too much. Right, Baker Street. It's amazing when you travel on some of these lines how close some of these stations are. Well, that's the hidden extra help that the Underground does for London. It hides a load of millions of people at any one time. Yeah, oh yeah, I wouldn't like to travel around on a tube strike day. Especially if you're trying to get somewhere. That was one of the reasons why we're not doing the train to get to Wuppertal when we go and do the suspended railway in February, because you just can't guarantee Deutschbahn, especially with trying to do connections. I tried working it out, and it's either you've got to wait several hours at two places, which means it becomes an impossible journey, and the cost was just horrendous. That's why we're driving it. All right, Marylebone next. Quite up a bit of time as well. Yes, some of the train might be on the platform, some of it might not be, it's fine. You just won't look down the back, we can't really. Yeah, most of it's on the platform. Right, Edgware Road. Yeah, there aren't any passengers anyway. I don't know what the separation is for these trains. The next one shouldn't be far behind. That's fine. It's fine. That's fine. Honestly, it's fine. I've also got to think about, obviously there's only certain times I can actually spawn in. I suppose I could spawn in earlier and speed the time up, then start the stream. I've got there's a lot of professionalism I've got to do on New Year's Day. Good thing I won't be hungover, innit? Right, Paddington next then. Yeah, we're fine. We got a clear shot straight in now. We've got 20 coming up. Which was a bit early for slowing down. If I'd have slowed down, if I'd have coasted that early, we'd have probably been on time. Right, in we come. That's what I was saying, if I was a professional, I'd be on time. I am a professional. I don't know why you keep doubting me all the time. Right. Unlock doors. Okay. Oh, God. Hang on a minute. That's an issue. Okay. There's an issue. Right. What I can do is if I relinquish the service, what's going to happen now? Uh-oh. Okay. Ow. Yeah, well, that's gone well. The stream ends as well as it started. I can't. I think there's another station coming up. There we go. Yeah, I literally can't do anything. I can't move. Paddington, I said. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So we'll go back to the main menu. Right, so there we go. Right, so Paddington is where I stopped driving the train at 8:06. Right, so the plan is on New Year's Day at midday, I will carry on from Paddington at 8:06 and get the train after that. So I'll probably spawn in at like 8 o'clock at Paddington, and then we'll wait for the train. And then the plan is then what we'll do. There we go. So we've done Eastbourne to Brighton. We've done Brighton to Victoria. We're now on the Elephant and Castle to Harrow. So we'll do Paddington to Harrow. Then we'll jump to the West Coast Main Line South and do Harrow to Milton Keynes. And then Birmingham to Crewe. If we can get as far as Crewe next time, great. Because that just leaves Preston to Carlisle and Glasgow to Edinburgh to do on Saturday. That is the plan. So yes, we'll see what happens on the next one. The next train is delayed as the previous driver's blood needs to be removed from the tracks. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously a bit of a glitch there. So there we go. So that is the continuation of that journey. Will be on New Year's Day at midday, where we will carry on from Paddington in the 1938 stock at 8:06. I need to write that down. So I remember that. Next stream, though, is back in 3.5 hours' time, where we're going to be in SnowRunner, getting stuck a lot. So that's going to be an interesting one. Tomorrow lunchtime, wait, no, 6:08. No, tomorrow lunchtime is The Sims 4, wishing our Sims 4 an end of year by watching those for a couple of hours. Tomorrow night, we may be doing a quiz. We'll see how many people we've got ready for that. And then New Year's Day at lunchtime is that. New Year's Day evening then is something, don't know what yet. And then on Friday lunchtime is some Fernbus. Friday night, we're doing coaches again. So double coach stream on Friday. In ETS2 in the snow in Italy. 0068 would be 8 minutes past 1, Trent. So not that. And then some more stuff on Saturday, which could be some more of this at lunchtime. And then Saturday night, we're doing repo again. See if we can get past level 4. And then Sunday lunchtime is some farming to end out the 2 weeks of Christmas streams. And then back to normal schedule next week, which starts on Tuesday with Train Sim World 6. Not 6800, no. So there we go. So thanks very much to you lot then for keeping me company throughout that one. Professionalism, as always. No one did any following or anything, so no one to thank there, or any subscribing. So there we go. I will be back with the Trenty, the Nico, and the Tiger in off-roady vehicles at 6 p.m. So place your bets now on who's going to get stuck first. I reckon Nico. We'll find out at 6. Until then, if you have been, thanks very much for watching. For watching. I knew what I meant. Bye.